Good morning. It's mid-morning. It's Craig from Parko's Fishing FNQ. Yeah, so we've it's a couple of things happened, I suppose, in the since the last videos. Had some editing issues, so that's why there was only short videos of my last couple of trips, just mainly around the fish that I caught and so forth. Yeah, managed to get some stubby holders made up, so they'll be there for sale. So drop us a comment in the comment section on the latest video, and if you're chasing some stubby holders, there'll also be some shirts coming up soon, so watch this space. So yeah, today late start. I'm just going to yeah, just have a bit of a run in the boat, throw some crab pots out, and hopefully we'll see how we go. We might have a bit of a trawl around and a flick for other species of fish, river fish. It's blowing its ringer out in offshore anyway, so we won't worry about going out there. We'll just stay in the river today and see how we go. So yep, stay tuned, and I'll talk to you a bit later on. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, I'm using chicken today. Usually I use fish frames, but I was talking to a mate about crabbing the other day. He'd been out, and that's what they did a ride on. So yeah, may as well give it a crack anyway. And they're not going to be in for as long as I normally leave them in. Usually up this neck of the woods, a lot different than Darwin and that, but that's I usually only leave them in up here for about 4 hours normally. But since I'm only having an early day out here, I'll probably only be a couple of hours, and then we get what we get, I suppose. But it's all about giving things a bit of a crack and having a go. Not yeah, I could have been doing other things. I've got all new flooring arrived for the boat, so I've got to pull all the floor up and replace all the timber from original, and recarpet it all. So I've bought all new carpet and what have you. So yeah, I could be doing that, but yeah, I've got a bit on tomorrow, so I thought I'll just come out and have a relaxing day, couple of beers, and see if we can get a crab or two. We'll see how we go. I just usually cable tie them all into the pots, even the fish frames and everything like that. Snip the ends off. Make sure you take all your rubbish with you. Don't throw it back in the river, because as we all know, plastics doesn't break down. So yeah, always try and look after the area and the environment you're in. You just don't know how long you're going to have it for. So, and as we can all see with the current situation with bloody COVID and all that sort of stuff, it's great having our freedom again, but you know, sometimes it comes at a price too. So anyway, all right, no worries, keep on watching, and I'll show you where I stick them. Usually look for in the especially around this in the Daintree River, areas that I look for, and the reasons why. I'll explain them to you. No worries, cheers. Yeah, so just probably see just over in here, we've got some small mangroves coming up, and there's a bit of an indentation in the bank from either current or a tree's fallen over, which obviously it looks like it has. So a lot of the time there is some like small tributaries that go up through there, and as the tide, on the high tides, it starts draining out, that will create a little creek. So generally have a look at that sort of structure for the crabs, somewhere where if there's anything fallen down or tree roots or whatever, yeah, the crabs will congregate in there potentially. So yeah, it's not rocket science, and I'm sure plenty of people have watched where to look for crabs, how to catch crabs, all that sort of stuff in a river system. So anyway, we'll throw a pot in there, and because the tide's on the way out, I'll just probably stick it off the bank a bit so that it's easy to access later on. So and see how we go. I use the square fold-up pots, so I generally like to face the openings either on the way the tide comes in and goes out, so that if the makes it easier for the crabs to get in. Well, that's my theory anyway, but we'll soon see, I suppose. Give it a crack. But I bought one pot out that had bloody a float missing, so I've had to improvise. But yeah, it's good looking area in there, so we'll just throw it in there and see what we get. I always kind of mark my spots as I drop the pot in. I think it's been a pretty big tide, so we're probably going to be pushing a few leaves down the river as well. So anyway, we'll throw a few pots in here and then cruise down and see where else. Alright, no worries, I'll talk to you a bit later on. Yeah, so with me barra stuff, I like to use the wind on leaders. I probably should be making them myself, but they're really really quite handy, and I just tie the lures onto the end. I've got some snaps which I used to use quite a lot when I was over in Darwin, which were easy to put on, and you weren't shortening your leader all the time. So yeah, we'll see how they go anyway, but I'd have to find them. I haven't done much barra fishing for a long time. It's all been offshore sort of stuff, as you've seen, so not that I'm thinking I'll catch a barra today, that's for sure, but anyway, you never know, stranger things have happened. So yeah, we'll wait and see. So, and that's pretty much as easy as that. So I've got a couple more to rig up, so I'll get back here. Yeah, so it's actually turned out to be quite a nice day out here. It was raining when I left home, and the rain's buggered off. So yeah, I thought I'll just do a bit of a trawl, and I'll go back and check the pots shortly. But pretty much my setup is I like these little rod holders out the side. Spreads the lines out a bit. Seems to work well just for the river, and you get your little GTs and everything like that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Plus, it's all good when you're fishing, just parked up somewhere, just gets the line away from the boat. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, but yeah, nice day now. I might even go for a bit of a lap down the front, check the pots, and have a look down the front and see how rough it is out there. But yeah, far north Queensland, can't beat it. Bloody beautiful. All right, we'll talk to you. Oh, we've come back and checked the pots. They've only been in for a bit over an hour, so I'm not expecting too much from them, but we'll see. We have got crabs are in there, so But there it goes backers. I'll just get out of here. So we got one little buck and a little Jenny by the looks, I think. Oh no, 2 bucks. I don't know whether you can see that or not. Might just move you over the up here. So yeah, so they're undersized, so they'll go back. Always got a crab checker here anyway, but you can kind of tell that they're undersized, so I'll give them a snip and send them back home. Caught up in there. There he goes. Is that one? No. I'll throw it back out again. Good sign anyway. As you can see, it wasn't in there long, but that structure and stuff like that around with the fallen tree and bits and pieces obviously does the trick. So interesting to see. I've tried to put a couple out in the middle of the, well, not in the middle of the river, but on the other side of the river, so be interesting to see if how they pan out. We'll just throw that back in the around about the same spot. Obviously the chicken's working. Go check the next one. Nada. So I'll move that from that spot. trim that now that the chicken bits have buddy thawed out a bit. They've gone all soft, so I'll just tighten them up. Put this one in back in a different spot. Obviously it wasn't working where it was, so or they've got in and out, one or two. It doesn't look like it's been eaten, so structure there, but yeah, hit and miss sometimes, so that's what it is. There's a big overhanging tree coming up here, so I'll just stick it out here a bit and see if that helps at all. These ones are like stuck them out more in the middle of the river in a bit of a, not even a deep hole, but yeah, see. You never know. Little buck. So he's not size either. Looks. Just double check. Easy goes back in under. They're there. And that was in 2.1 metres of water. Yeah. Give it another crack there, maybe, or I'll just move out a little bit. all shallows out further into the on the starboard side there, so I don't want to be up there with the tide going out and it getting too low, so and not being able to get the pots, we've got to be a fair bit on tomorrow, so run it back out into about 3 metres of water and see what it's like. Yeah, well, it's already pretty rough just in the river here, so the issue we have in the river is obviously because the wind's coming from the east or the southeasterly and the tide's going out, and as you can imagine you end up getting, it all starts pushing up, so you get that short chop through the river, and if it's really blowing you get it pretty much all the way up the river on different parts of it, depending on stuff like whether it's protected or not. So yeah, it's one of those things, I suppose. River systems are all the same, just different parts of the world, I suppose. But yeah, this as it comes out the river, you head towards the south. And then you've got a dog leg out, so therefore that's where you get all the chop coming straight down through there. So but anyway, that's in all there really. So yeah, all right, no worries. We'll might have a bit of a trawl around on the way back up the river and see what we can get. All right, no worries. I'll talk to you later on. South. There's one of those tribs, but she looks a bit gruesome in there, like the croc's been crawling up in there, so probably with crabbing and stuff like that, yeah, it's good, but I'd be checking the pots more regularly than not, just in case there is a croc up there. Generally what I've found in the Daintree River area is that if you get a lot of fish at the front of a hole or front of a tributary like that, that the crocs are not too far away, so yeah, I generally try and keep away from anything that's got fish at the beginning of a hole or a tributary. So yeah, anyway, just another tip on crabbing the Daintree, I suppose. Probably watched, like I said before, there's plenty of people watch videos about crabbing and all that sort of stuff, so everybody can take their own take on it, but that's what I've found, being a local here, and caught a few crabs over the years, obviously, with being out in a boat most days while I'm home. But yeah, it's some nice little creeks around here, and they all come off the main river, so yeah, just be careful of bloody stumps and logs, and there's a few rock bars up the top end of some of the other ones, plus the ground changes obviously with mud movements and so forth, so yeah, just be wary of that. But yeah, other than that, not a bad afternoon, I must say. And I'm not donuts, so that's even better. So we've got 3 crabs, but they're all been undersized, so donuts for keeping things. But yeah, it's all good as long as we got something. That's the main thing, and it's gone back to fight another day. So we don't want to be keeping crabs like that. That's for sure. So you can see the big hole up underneath that mangrove there. That's another good one where you could chuck a pot. But yeah, just one of those things. Also over the other side here, it's probably not too bad with all the roots and stuff like that from the mangroves and so forth. So there'll be crabs that have got holes and so forth up in there as well. So yeah, there's a whole heap of different places to try, but you know, you give it a crack, and if you're not getting any crabs, or you know, even if they're not even small ones, like moving to another spot. Don't hang around and keep fishing that same spot. All right, no worries. We'll talk to you a bit later on. Yeah, just stopped on a little rubble patch here in the river. Been known to get finger bark and so forth, so a bit of a drop with a gale blazer, not a gale blazer, ledger, Ryan Moody. So sinking stick bait basically. Just when I wound it up just before, I had a follow up. It looked like a dart, something like that. So. There's a lot of fish on the bottom. About 5 minutes ago, but worth a drop pretty high. I'm just casting forward of the boat and then letting it drift back through, and then just working it as it kind of just pops over the bottom, hopefully. Check a couple of the pots again, and I think that will be us. So I kept a little bucket so for the chicken, so I'll probably feed the chicken. But we'll see what we've got in the pots now. He's a bit bigger. Might even be size, that one. You see that one? Size crab, that one. Let me bloody do that go to. There it is. Come on, buddy. one. I'll get back to you while I process this one. Alright, cheers. We're just coming up to the second pot now. Have a look, see if we got anything in this one. Surprised that I thought there would have been more tidal movement. Negative. Donuts. On that one. That's alright, we'll take the bait out, just move out a bit so we don't end up in the bank there. Well, that's good, that other spot I put that pot back in there, so that's well, I didn't put it back in this time, but put it back in last time and the bigger crab come around, so happy about that. Only need one, just a bit of afternoon smoke out, really. So maybe some smoke out tomorrow if we catch another one, but we'll see. Not too concerned now. We've got one in the esky, and it goes in her. I always just give the throw top back in and give it a little bit of a wash without trying to erect a new wrap. And I always just roll them up and throw the float and everything in the one end of them if you're new to crabbing. Yeah, it sits nicely and then back up against the side of the boat. Alright, we'll go check another one. Actually, we'll just keep moving on. Keep on clearing me spots as I go, because otherwise you end up with way too many spots. Usually if the tide's going out, I come up from behind the float, so you're not got any problems with the rope going into your prop or anything like that. So easier to do it that way, and then you always fall away from it, or start floating back down the river. Might have two. Look at that bastard. That's a cranking fucking crab, that one. Good sized claws on him. Oh well, two to cook up. Fucking bonus. Again, we'll just check in, but I think he's size, this fella. The other one. Yep, so yeah, it's between the two knobs there, so yeah, these goes in a two. Happy fucking days. Oh, Parko's Fishing FNQ cleaning up today. No fish, but anyway, it's alright, something different. Probably going to get cranky with this other fly there, but anyway. Bloody beautiful. So that was out in the middle of the river too, so yeah, interesting. Remember to subscribe and like if you like my content and everything like that, and if you want a stubby holder or something like that, I've got some more on order, so the first lot are pretty much gone, but let me know, and yeah, and I can, with name and address, and can shoot you some payment details, and we can go from there. See what we got in this one. Holy! Oh, I think he might be a goes backer. We got another one in there, a little feisty little buck. So, I don't think he's size, but he was getting into that bloody chicken, I tell you. Might surprise me, but I don't think so. Touching the carapace, as they say, or whatever you want to call it. So easy goes back in her. Goes back in the water. Away he goes. Happy days. So a couple of pulls, usually, like I said, I usually leave them in for 4 hours, but I have had times where the crabs get out of the pots in 4 hours, so sometimes it's better to check sooner rather than later. But yeah, that afternoon session, only been pretty much in the water since 10:30, I think, 11 o'clock. Not bad at all. cook up all my crabs, I usually take some water home and cook them up at home. So yeah, so usually use the same water they come out of, which usually get a really good taste and it's nice and fresh, everything like that. So yeah, anyway, talk to you a bit later on. Bloody good session. One more and see what we bloody, if we get anything. Well, we've got 3 crabs, all right, but they're all undersized at the moment, so that's all cool. That's what it's all about. They got to be in it to win it. I'll go for a run out to the front and see if we can go out to the river mouth anyway. See how rough it is out there. I'd say it's going to be pretty rough. Us being in the river this afternoon, not out chasing nannies or trout or whatever, you know. So case. Oh, that's the 4 pots, so at least we didn't get zilch. We still got something there. So anyway, we'll go for a drive down the front of the river and see what's going on down there. Anyway, might have a bit of a trawl on the way back. All right, talk to you a bit later. Oh, that's it for today. Got water in my bucket there, ready to take home a couple of crabs, so I might get another full, I suppose, catch and cook episode or little video. So yeah, but other than that, thanks for watching, and yeah, remember to subscribe and like, and we'll catch up next time. So thank you. Yeah, so back home now, and just boiled up the pot, and I've got the crab in there now. So ended up just with the one crab. I double checked the measurements and one was just undersized, so I put him back and then kept the one that was the right size. So yeah, just got him in the pot cooking up now, so it should be it's at boiling, so it should be like 20 minutes. We'll see how we go. So I always put the crabs in upside down, and it means that all the fluids and everything like that sit in the shell, and it helps with the taste of them, I find anyway. Everybody might be different, but yeah, so I'll let that boil for 20 minutes and go from there. So probably the first crab I've done for a long time. So yeah, we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it turns out all good. I always bring back a bucket of water from where I caught the crab, and then I'll put it in there and let it cool down straight away. So that should help with a bit of flavour as well. So the other one was that a few viewers we didn't really get a real good look at the wrap on the boat, so I just thought I'd give you another run around on the boat there. So yeah, it's pretty bloody specky, so it looks good, nice and neat. And yeah, I've already put a scratch in it there, but you know, it is what it is. It's a fishing boat, and yeah, ended up with the crabs today and didn't manage to put a scratch in it, so that's pretty good. I'm happy about that. But yeah, so I usually get home and always give the motor a run, as most people would know. It's the go-to thing when you're home. So and then a quick wash around on the boat and make sure everything's all kosher, really. So yeah, the other side looks pretty bloody specky as well, so yeah, can't complain. Anyway, remember, subscribe, like, and if you've got any comments, give us a bell on the comments. If you're chasing a stubby holder, or yeah, shirts are probably 6 to 10 weeks away, sort of thing. So I'll put one order in. I do have some spares, depending on size. So anyway, we'll let us know in the comments, and then we'll go from there. All right, no worries. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch up with you. See ya. Bye. Well, we're back again. So yeah, that's the meat and the crab that we ended up cooking, well, catching and cooking. So not too bad. Only come out of a small nipper, so yeah, not bad at all. So lovely. Can't complain, eh? I ended up getting a whole heap of, see on my arm there's sun cancers, or bloody sunspots, so I had a whole heap of them cut out a couple of weeks ago, so I've been trying to look after them. But yeah, they're still a bit red and angry, but yeah, they're getting better. Anyway, we'll talk to you.